Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Coming up in this week's episode, Chris from Brooklyn and Jude Angelini, a.k.a. Rude Jude, are in the studio. We discuss sex, drugs, and an epic Rude Jude story. Stick around.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Of the closing doors, please.
It's alive!
Transfer is available.
The next and last stop is...
You're tuning into the SubwayCreatures. You're tuning into the Sub.
Special live episode today. No Kimmy, but we got two special guests. Actually, a reoccurring guest over to my right. We got Chris from Brooklyn.
What's going on?
Apologize to the live people out there. Chris, we're blaming you for this.
I was late. It's 100% my fault, and I feel bad that I held everybody up. I don't like to be. I'm usually here before everybody else when we have to do one of these shows.
We'll get to why you were late in 1 second, but I want to introduce our other guest, the host of the All Out Show on SiriusXM, Jude Angelini, a.k.a. Rude Jude.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Well, I'm a big fan of y'all page and shit. So
no, I'm a big fan of yours too, and we're definitely going to get into all of this shit because there's dude, you're one of the biggest and best storytellers out there.
Yeah.
And
thanks.
You know, I was doing my homework for the last 2 weeks. Didn't even have to do that much because I've been following you for a while.
Word.
And dude, your fucking stories are epic. And I was saying before to someone else, it's almost like a Tucker Max, but yours are fucking real.
Yeah, I don't lie on my dick.
Exactly.
I don't lie on my dick. I don't lie on my thread count.
Chris,
rules.
Can you fucking real quick explain why you were late?
Okay, it's going to sound dumb, Nanny, but randomly police search bags on subway stations, and I don't know why I had in my bag a couple of weed carts. Like, normally I'd just put them in my pocket, but I had them in my bag, and I saw the cops there, and I was like, well, I can't go into this train station, so I had to run to the next station, which is only a couple blocks down, but I just missed the Q train, and it just, like, it fucked up all my connections. I ended up having,
Do you think they would have cared?
Who the fuck knows? And I know I've talked to a couple of people. What's weird is that's the only shit that's legal for medical in New York, but they'll jam you up harder if you get arrested for that than with bud. It's fucking bizarre.
It is weird.
Yeah.
Jude, I want to get into this real quick. I know you're kind of on a time restriction here because you got your show actually right after this.
Yeah, I'm running. I got to take the train up. Hopefully they don't search shit.
Well, that's why I wanted Chris to get that out there.
Cortelli Road on the Q train. Don't go there today.
Yeah, I'm dirty as fuck right now.
Dude, so speaking of which, you actually were just here recently doing one of the other shows on our network, SDR show.
Yeah.
And
we both were.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, Chris, you were doing that as well?
I was on that show as well.
Chris cleaned the coke, allegedly.
Yeah,
the fake coke.
Yeah, it was coke.
How did that go? And for the people listening,
it's a nonsense show. Don't listen to it. It was terrible.
Can you just explain what you guys are talking about real quick?
Yeah, Ralph wanted to do coke for the first time off a porn star's ass. It was his homegirl.
Yeah, Ryan Keeley.
And so we got fucked up. Like.
He was like, you should come through. It was my birthday too, and I was just like, man, I don't know, I got a date, you know what I mean? And that was like the idea of, I love Ralph too. I love both them fellas, and it was like, yeah, we're gonna do coke on the show with strippers, and I'm just like, this is gonna be a shit show. And if you give everybody coke, everyone talks. It was fucking nuts.
Well, I know that's not one of your favorites, right?
I've never done it.
Get the fuck out of here.
I never have done coke. I'm afraid I'll like it too much. And I don't want to be like, I told the story the first time I saw it done really openly was right after 9/11, and strippers were talking about geopolitics at like 5 a.m. And I was like, I never want to sound this dumb, and I'll never do fucking coke. That's the best way to get somebody to not do coke is just have.
Well, someone with your history, I'm shocked.
I'll be honest. That's what it scared me straight. That episode with all the yapping going on.
Yeah,
just a lot of like everyone just going at it, conversation wise, everyone talking over each other.
Oh yeah. I was watching the producer try to cut up highlight clips, and he was just like, I don't know what.
Yeah, because speaking of producer, that was Shannon producing that show. Yeah. That was her first time as well, right?
Yeah.
So how did that go? Because people who follow Gas Digital know Shannon and also know that she doesn't do drugs. So for her to be doing coke for the first time on that show,
I think she was fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, we've heard the stories in the past. She's been on the show telling us stories of her kind of freaking out on drugs before.
Oh, yeah. She freaked out when she did Molly, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do?
Too many feelings.
Yeah.
Jude.
Yo.
A lot of people know, especially, I feel like the audience that follows Subway Creatures, they also follow Rude Jude. I mean, I feel like the audiences kind of fall into each other.
Yeah, we overlap. Yeah,
absolutely. So I feel like they know your history. You know, you came up on the Jenny Jones show.
Yeah.
My question: how did you get that break though on the Jenny Jones?
The two of my friends sent in pictures. They were before and afters. I used to be ugly. Now I'm pretty, and only one got picked, unfortunately. So she was like, I don't know what I should do. I don't want to leave old girl behind. I don't want to go by myself. And I had just got off of probation. I hadn't been able to leave the state for like 5 years. I just kept getting like in trouble. And I was like, yo, I'll go out there with you. And it was right after the gay dude got killed. And my family was like, we're poor, but we're not white trash. You're not doing that shit. I was like, fuck you. You haven't been there for me. I'm doing whatever I want to do. And I did. And suddenly I just got this one show, came off the next show. Like, it was the hood was trying to blaze me because there's a lot of West Side and South Side cats. And I grew up with black kids, and we're used to, like, blazing each other. So, like, me versus the audience wasn't shit. They weren't even half as funny as, like, my homeboys. So I just fucking cooked the audience. And by the time we were done with the first break, they were on my side.
Well, anybody's waiting for Jenny Jones tickets, yeah, they're not like working.
Yeah.
Well, I actually went back and we got the highlight right here.
Oh man.
Okay, yo, can we get volume on this? Because I was watching this last night. This is fucking hilarious.
You know what the funny thing was? That was for me to get an agent. So like I had to simmer that shit down. Like, it wasn't even like my most like fire roasts. You know what I mean? Like, It was like, this is like middle of the road shit.
Ones.
Yeah.
I just want to play this for a minute. I know it's like 3 minutes long. I just want to play a little bit of it because some of these are really good.
Maybe you should just shut your legs and open up a book. That's what
That was
It's
me
your
talking
man
to
Jude.
a
I'm
stripper.
outside of Angela's house. We about to creep up in there sneak style. Let her know that she needs a makeover because she's a dusty broad.
One thing is for sure, you can expect Jude to be rude.
Dude, check out that flavor saver.
I was telling she needed to pull her titties up and pull her
Holy
forehead
shit,
down.
I remember that episode of Jenny Jones.
Bro, I felt so
remember
nostalgic
watching
watching
that when it was on.
this
Yeah.
last night. I was like, oh my God, this takes, because then you got also the Jerry Springer. There was that whole lineup of shows that, were very similar. And the audiences were just bleeding over into the next show.
Well, all those shows, like when Springer like hit like that, I feel like they all kind of switched up the formats. Like that's when they all got really shocking. It was like, because even Ricky Lake was doing stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, they all had their own like insult comedian. And there was an insult comedian before me, and he was cool. Shout out to Damon. But like I just kind of came in, and I was just way more raw. And I'd even say shit like I knew wasn't gonna make the television just to get them hyped. There was this one time I'm like quiz master, so I'm asking a question, and they were like, "What's 12 times 8?" And she couldn't figure it out. I was like, let me break it down for you. I was like, there's 12 dudes with 8-inch dicks. How many fucking inches of dick did you just suck? And then she was like, but like that didn't make the air. But
I love how like most talk shows, like a warm-up comedian is just like the friendliest, like safest comedy, and it's just like, nah, just go out there and make fun of their dicks.
Straight up.
Just call them dusty dicked assholes.
Well, you got to know your audience, and those people were there for exactly that reason.
Yeah.
So that actually probably is the best feeling, getting that crowd jacked up like that.
Yeah, to this day, I'll still take callers from Chicago because they're really good at talking shit. Like I'll see, like if I see like a Chicago caller, they get first priority.
That obviously would never fucking live today on television.
None of that. No.
And I know you're actually a big advocate for like kind of the anti-PC culture, which I am as well, because that shit doesn't really fly with my page. And I remember when I first started doing this page, I tried to be PC because I wanted everyone to love me. And then a lot of people were coming up to me and they were like, dude, fuck it. You're never going to please everyone. You're always going to offend at least one person. You just got to fucking do your thing.
Yeah.
And that's the audience that you want to keep. And so I know is it for you? Was it like an uphill battle because of the, obviously we've seen your social media page.
Yeah.
That's actually why I love it, because it pushes the envelope and you kind of just speak your mind.
I was thinking like, man, I'm a dumbass for posting nuanced things because people are idiots. So like why are you posting something that's so nuanced it's gonna enrage half the people and fucking delight the other half? Now I'm just like posting Tekashi 6ix9ine shits. It's just,
I saw, dude, that was so
easy.
Oh yeah, you have the most of them on there.
I'm just they're the easiest. I'm just like I gave up on trying to like fucking make people think, because a lot of like some of my memes are like just fucking gross. Others are kind of like, hey, let me think about this in a different way, using comedy to fucking push the way you think about shit. But
and there's nothing worse than the people who follow you and then act like they're enraged or offended. Like, what do you think?
Dude, I got one from tagging you, and like obviously my page is like tiny. The High Society Radio Instagram page is like small. It's like 2,000 people.
Right.
But I tagged you in something because I took a video of a guy literally cleaning shit off of himself in the Atlantic Avenue train station, right by the Barclays Center.
Right.
Packed train station. I'm like, there's just cops watching this guy clean shit off of himself doing nothing.
Yep.
And a month later, some guy, I guess, found that post somehow and was just like, yo, white people are the most. The man is homeless. Give him a fucking break. And I was just like, he's cleaning literal shit off of himself.
It's all jokes until it's their turn.
Yeah,
and then,
exactly.
And then when it's their turn, they don't like that shit. I get that. It wasn't always like that. Like I grew up where everybody could get it, and it was like equal opportunity, and because we all viewed each other as equals. And we
Dude,
were
I had a
equally
friend
broke.
named Shelton in high school who literally just referred to me as White Devil every single time he referred to me for 4 years. Like, it was just, you used to be able to just shit on each other openly.
Yep.
And that was just it was expected and accepted.
Yes.
Right. And I mean, do you think that there's like ever going to be an end to this?
Yeah. Look, man, most people don't agree with them. They just don't yell that like, I agree with you because you posted something for like they're allowing like just loud motherfuckers dictate what the fuck they do.
Yeah, it's a very vocal minority.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
Not the ones in the movie theater.
But the problem is that they almost seem like they speak for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like, even though we all know that they don't, and it is a minority, like you were saying, for whatever reason, those people are the ones that are the loudest a lot of the time. And I don't know why that happens, but they're the same people who declare that they're going to unfollow you on your account.
I'm like, just leave silently, like a fucking man.
Seriously, I mean, that happens almost on a daily basis with me.
Yeah.
They declare why they're going to unfollow you, and it's just like, okay, because you clearly want it to be known. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, just fuck off.
Yeah, I don't need you following me anyway.
Beat it.
Going back to your thing about the homeless people, obviously, you feel bad for homeless people, but there's a difference between that and, dude, if you're just shitting on a fucking train and you're wiping it, like, that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you're still doing something that's...
Yeah, people are gonna fucking.
Right.
That's an interesting thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna. Like, it wasn't like I was just like, what a fucking mental deficient. I was like, I was more being like, yo, the cops are doing nothing. They're standing behind a man, watching him scrape shit off his legs and flick it onto the platform.
That's disgusting.
Like,
that was my first trip to New York. Was like I didn't.
You came to see that guy?
He's
a tourist attraction.
We got off at fucking Trade Center. That was like, so we get off at the Trade Center and then we got to do a fucking transfer, and it was a butt ass naked black dude with dreads just covered in shit on the train. And I'm like, damn, is this like what New York is like? Because I'm just some country motherfucker from Michigan. I was like, damn, they go to fuck in. But that was the only time I saw someone covered in shit.
Well, if you are a cop, what the fuck are you going to do? Like, what do you do?
I don't know. It just, at the moment, I was just like, I don't know. You'd think these cops, they weren't even saying, they were just looking at him, not trying. I guess they were trying to figure it out. You know what I mean?
They need like a net, like dog catchers. Like they just need bum catcher nets. I'm serious.
This is it.
Is this your video?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, they need a bum catcher net.
And yeah, that was my main thing was I just wanted to.
I'm a fucking cop.
Yo, I don't get paid enough as NYPD to be grabbing up dudes covered in shit,
Oh, buddy.
This is hilarious. It smells like human feces in Atlantic Avenue.
Yeah, I just took like a quick video just to like have it up, but like it was just that was going on for the entire time. It was 12 minutes. I was waiting for a train. It was just the middle
And
of
the
the night.
cops just chilling?
Just chilling there. But
Yeah.
I got on a train and they had not resolved this situation.
They were probably waiting to see if he was gonna fling it at somebody, then they get him or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
I guess
yeah,
then they
that's-
have to, right?
I don't know, yeah.
But you know what they're doing? They're just waiting for like paramedics to show up. They're like, I'm not dealing with this shit. Well, we'll let the paramedics deal.
They're just hoping he gets on the next train, and they're like, not our
Yeah,
fault.
yeah, what happened?
It was, you know what was crazy about it though is I remember it was raining outside. It's like, why don't you just go outside and wash the shit off of you? You know what I mean?
He thought like that, he wouldn't be a fucking bum.
That's true.
You mentioned New York.
Yeah,
You lived here at one point.
yeah.
How long were you here?
I was here for damn near 3 years.
And you weren't a fan, or
Fucking hated this place.
what? All right. So what was it that you didn't like? Because our co-host Kim, who moved here from Florida, actually originally was from Cali.
Yeah.
And you know she's a big Cali girl. She has she's a huge fan of Cali, and we always talk about this on the show. I wanted your opinion.
Well, I always say LA is like filled with a bunch of fucking idiots, and then New York is filled with well-read idiots. And it's like,
I actually know what you mean by
like
that.
you guys peaked like in the 90s, maybe, like, and you're still like, it's New York's like Al Bundy claiming they're fucking 2 touchdowns in Polk High School. That's what New York reminds me of.
That's fair.
And it's like being from a flyover state. Like, I looked up to New York. I really did. Like, I was like, oh, New York is a shit. Like, so much of the rap that I listened to was New York rap. And then by the time I got here, it wasn't the city that it once was. And the other thing is, like, I'm just not used to not having space. Like,
oh, that's a huge thing.
yeah,
that
like
people need to get used to.
It gives me great anxiety just being like, I don't even like Trader Joe's parking lots anywhere.
Oh
so,
shit,
like,
that's a
fuck it.
whole nother story. Trader Joe's. Those
Yeah.
are fucking, for people claustrophobic. That's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, so New York is like a walking anxiety attack for me. So
Yeah.
that those were a few of the reasons. And like, I really didn't have any friends out here. Like, there's only one person that I still keep in contact with. It was just like chicks that I was fucking, chicks that I was about to fuck, and then like a couple dudes that like I don't even like. They were just social climbing and doing their shit.
What even brought you out here this time? I'm glad you're here.
I come out here once every few months just to show my face to the bosses and be like, hey,
There you
I'm
go.
still alive. Remember me? I got a really popular show on your fucking thing.
Yeah, you've had that show for a while, right?
15 years next month, bro.
Wow.
Damn. Was that one of the OGs on fucking Sirius?
Yeah. Golden handcuffs. Yeah. And it's a great, like, I was literally washing dishes before I got that job. I was like, it's probably the one Caucasian in LA washing dishes. Fucking, yeah, just washing dishes.
That is a way better job. As somebody who's washed dishes.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks. That's the worst thing I ever. My dad owned a restaurant when I was a kid. That was the worst thing he ever made me do. Was like there'd be like a party of 300 people, and you're just like, I don't think I'm gonna eat for a month.
Yep, busting suds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also feel, because I've also been there, and when I was fucking 15, 16, I was also working in a restaurant, also in the back, and it kind of like shapes you a little bit growing up, because it's kind of, you feel like you're kind of like the lowest on the totem pole.
Yeah, you are.
True.
Yeah.
I think that's what's wrong with, look, that's basically what's wrong with this. I'm getting yelled at by people that never had to bust suds.
Yes.
That like these people with all these fucking opinions are like, haven't had a job. Like, they're like, I got a kid. I'm like, yo, you need to get a job. She was 15. She was like, I don't want to take, she's smart. So she's like, I don't want to take jobs away from people who need jobs. And I'm like, motherfucker, you need a job. Like, everybody needs a fucking job.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like this new bourgeois. Like, everyone's talking about like how they're struggling. Bro, you're telling me about your struggle on $1,000 phone, dog.
Yeah.
Like, you don't do any fucking work. Your parents want you to get into school. Like, shut the fuck up. Boss the fuck up and go be a fucking grown-up. And then you can talk to me about worlds, and you can talk to me about what words I can use and can't use, and then I'll tell you to suck my dick anyway, so fuck off.
I feel like Sirius I know the answer to this. Does Sirius actually have any like guidelines, or did they just let you fucking go?
No, there's guidelines for me. Yeah,
There
there's
is.
guidelines for me, and there's also like, look, man, I've also figured out strategically the way I speak. If I say a certain word that's gonna trigger somebody, they're not gonna hear all they're gonna do is get caught up on the word that I say, and they're not gonna hear the complete message. So if I want them to hear the complete message, I'll avoid that word and say my sentence. If I want to argue about that word, I'll use that word, and we can have a debate over it.
That's so true. And that's not just you. That's actually, I feel like across the board, people are always, they just look for those buzzwords or listen for them.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as they hear them, like you said, everything else gets turned off and they just focus on that, which is unfortunate, but that's, like you said, the culture we're living in these days, which sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I remember on XM, Ron and Fez show did some shit. They said they just sent out a memo. Because they were allowed to say whatever they wanted. And it's not like they were doing this anyway, but they sent out a memo that said, no one that isn't black can say the N-word on this platform. And so they just said, okay, so what words can we still say? And they just said all the words. They just said other slurs just to be like, okay, so management doesn't care if we say this, just this. Okay, we won't say that. And they just did that as like a 5-minute bit. It was fucking hilarious.
Right.
That reminds me a lot of like the new Chappelle. Did you see that stand-up?
Oh, yeah.
Where he talks about using the word fag. And how they were like, oh, no, Dave, you cannot say that word.
Yeah.
But, everything else is kind of off limits and they're allowed to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously that stand-up was amazing. But
I just can't wait till these motherfuckers get old enough where someone younger than them is like, you can't say people.
Well,
it's going to be some new shit.
Yeah, because it excludes things that think that they're fucking orange cones in the road. You know what I mean? Like, it's
actually,
like I can't wait for that
California,
shit.
And maybe you can confirm this for me or not, or maybe it's San Francisco, didn't they just say you're not allowed to say the word criminal or felon anymore?
Yeah, some shit like
they have
that.
to, it's like some kind of PC
Felon?
word.
That's an actual legal
Dude,
term.
you can't even, they're like, I forget what it's something, a person of injustice or something like that.
Oh, man, the good people at Felon Magazine are going to be really disappointed.
Straight up. They're like, now what?
What do we do?
Now fucking what? It's going to be...
We were selling all of these in watts. What
this
the fuck
is
are we
also
going to do?
San Fran, so this is,
Okay.
it's its own fucking world out there.
I know. And now you got all these motherfuckers, like... and then everybody leaves there and goes to Texas, and they're gonna just ruin Texas. They're just gonna fucking move away from there and ruin other states slowly. Maybe it'll give them a different point of view, a different perspective. Like I argue with motherfuckers that never had to mow a lawn and shit. You know what I mean? Or never had to.
I never had to mow a lawn.
I haven't either because I lived in apartments. But like they have a lawn, but they've never mowed.
Oh, they just have a guy.
You know what I mean? Like they've just never done their own
Right.
yard work. And like there's 25-year-olds in LA that have maids and shit. Like it's just a different culture out there.
Right.
So maybe them expanding into the flyover states will give them a different perspective. Shit, even when I go home, I'm like, I see like a broke ass white person in some like jean shorts smoking a Camel or some shit like that with a Fila shirt on, like not stylish Fila, And I'm like, man.
Like the Fila from 5 years ago before they made the comeback?
Yeah, like, damn, I forgot we had those. Poor white people. Shit. Yeah, because you don't see them in LA.
And that's the shit, like if you go out in certain spots of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It's like trendy because it's all, hipsters because they're, pulling out the shit that was discontinued or, they got out of a thrift store.
Bro, I was at a listening party. I'm not going to say what, but there was like 3 dudes wearing NASCAR shirts. And I was like, 1, you didn't dig that up at a fucking resale shop. And 2, you don't fucking like NASCAR. So fucking die. Like fucking die, you hype beast. Sorry.
Dude, Hyena and Hummingbird.
Okay.
Dude, these books, I recommend them. And actually, I heard someone say this, and I feel like this is probably accurate. The audio versions are probably the best way to go because you can hear you the way it was meant to be read.
Yeah.
But these, I'll be honest, I haven't read the whole thing, but I've been skimming them and also listening to the stories from them.
Yeah.
Dude, these are fucking epic stories. I really recommend them. But there was one that was the funniest story / probably grossest, and I want you to tell the story. It was the abortion one.
All right, yeah.
If you could tell that for the audience.
Yeah,
this is from Hyena?
Yeah, this one almost didn't make the cut just because I'm so used to the story. You know what I mean? Like it happened when I was 18. If you already heard it, forgive me. So I was fucking with this. I was going to like Applebee's or Fridays or some shit like that, and there was this white girl waitress that I'd been trying to holler at forever, but she like moved from the country, was kind of into black dudes, like that was her thing, and I finally cracked her, and I start fucking, and she hits me, and she's like, "Hey man, I need some help," and some like CBA ball player got her pregnant, and she has to go get an abortion. So I'd had some abortions before, so I knew that you couldn't fuck for a week. So I was gonna be like, all right, man, I'm gonna try to get some pussy before I won't be able to fuck. So I stay the night at her place. She's got a car, I don't. And I wake up and I'm like, I'm gonna try to get some pussy before the abortion. Now I'm 18 and I'm an asshole.
Get your money's worth.
Yeah, it's like, yo, I'm driving. You know, I gotta drive you back. So fucking let me get a nut off. You know. So I'm like, never mind that your head's probably in another place because you have to kill a baby. But whatever. So like, I'm like trying to put the moves on her, and she's like, I'm not in the mood. Like, please no. And I'm like, shh. Let me just get this. And like, I'm going down on her. And it doesn't taste that good, but you got to understand, like, I grew up, my dad, like, we grew up broke, and my dad was, like, the son of Depression era fucking immigrants. So, like, if he caught me throwing out food, he'd make me go in the trash, take out the food, and eat food from the trash. So eating, like, some stank pussy wasn't, like, the worst shit ever. You'll either get used to the taste or it'll just fucking new shit'll flow out. So like I'm eating that shit and I'm like, this shit is not changing. This is not changing taste. It's like pennies and Long John Silvers or some shit like that. So I'm like, all right. And then I try to fuck, but it's stuck in my beard because I had the little fucking chin strap. Like as soon as I could get facial hair, I had that shit. So I'm trying to fuck. I'm like, this is not working. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Why don't we just go get this abortion? So we drive to the east side to get the fucking abortion, and like the clinic's in a goddamn strip mall. It's like next to a Subway, and it's,
of course it is. Yeah.
It's bleak as fuck. It's great. Like anybody that lives like on the East Coast or in the Rust Belt, you know, like that February gray ass snow, fucking brown grass sticking up. Like it was one of those overcast days, like just the perfect day for an abortion. And we roll up in that bitch, and we roll up in that bitch, and like, mind you, I've had abortion, and the fucked up shit is like, this is what like women I've actually loved, you know. So it's not like I don't want to sound callous or anything, but like, so like I kind of know how long these things take, and I'm sitting down, I crack open a National Geographic or whatever the fuck they got, and she goes in, and then she comes back out, and I'm like, it was like 5 minutes, so I was like, what the fuck, did you change your mind or some shit? She was like, nah, I didn't change my mind. And then I was like, well then, like, what happened? She was like, I had a miscarriage this morning. And I was like, oh. And I just like kind of wiped my mouth on like just.
So your dad would have been proud that you didn't waste food at least.
That's right. I'm a cannibal. I had a little black kid. Or mixed kid, whatever. Oh, whatever you fucking. Yeah, that wasn't even gonna make this. I wasn't even gonna put it in the book, but like everybody's like, tell that story.
No, I'm so glad you did. I'm so glad that made the cut.
Yeah, that was.
Was there anything actually going off of that didn't make the cut that you were like, I really fucking wish that went in?
No, I mean, there's always like, I got so many wild sex stories that I try to tell stories that kind of have a meaning beyond it just being like fucking craziness, or like I want the sum to be greater than the parts. It's not like all about, hey, look how fucking wacky I am, look how crazy I am. Like if you read the whole book from front to back and read it, I would say read it like it's poetry, word for word. Like that way you can get the rhythm of it. Like it's deeper than just me eating abortions. You know what I mean? Like I was trying to explain like where I came from and how we were taught, how men and women were taught to treat each other in a certain way. Like we were very predatory towards one another.
So you have these two books, Hyena, Hummingbird. Can we expect a third at any point? Has there been enough that's happened since then where you're like, you feel confident about?
No, I mean, I could write. I'm not gonna. It's just too, like, nobody reads fucking books. Like, they're bestsellers, and it's just like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, it's cool. I got my ideas out there, y'all. Like, and if more people want to check it out, that's fucking awesome. But like, nah, man, I'm good.
I would almost feel like more than the money, almost the feedback that you get from people's probably the best, right?
Yeah. But so I got enough of that, but like I can't fucking pay rent with feedback, and I'm trying to take that energy and get the fuck out of LA and post up back in Michigan.
Yeah. So what is the goal here? Like
what's the end goal? I was trying to raise some money for I want to turn Hyena and Hummingbird into animated series. Nobody will fuck with the shit, so it's like I'm gonna have to self-animate it and sell it myself on Amazon, like real punk rock or like gangster rap shit. Like back in the day, remember, like no big fucking companies were gonna fucking sign rap a lot or any punk shit because it's just too fucking raw. But there's this whole group of people that want that shit.
Yeah. Well, now I think there's more of an audience for that than ever, especially like an animated is.
Yeah,
you can get away with more once it's a cartoon.
That's
100%. And you actually did animate this, didn't you? I saw some animations.
I did a test animation thing, and I need to tweak it from there. But I did want to do a test animation thing. It was about like my roommate wouldn't share wine with us, and she was sitting in the fucking like out here, man. Like in Michigan, you just go to a liquor store and buy fucking wine. You know what I mean? Or like here, you got to go to a special wine shop. So I couldn't find fucking wine, and I'm with this like this chick that was like a cutter that liked to have real rough sex, and I'm sharing an apartment with this Jewish broad that wears like Ugg boots and stuff, like just like fucking Ugg boots and Oscar parties. That's the best way I can fucking explain her ass. So like we're like
brutal.
We walk around the city for like a fucking hour, can't get anything.
Okay.
Roll up, they're playing fucking Cranium. They're in like the common area, you know what I mean? And they got bottles of wine, and we're like, man, we just wanted some wine, we couldn't find any. They're like, damn, that's fucked up. Don't scoot over or nothing. I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna have my own party up in here.
Yeah.
And so there was a wall. My bedroom wall shared the wall with the couch. So I pushed my fucking bed up against the bedroom wall and fucking rape sexed her ass until just put on UGK and just rape sexed her. That's what she was into. So
the other Cranium players were like, we can't hear the humdinger.
Yeah.
We can't hear it.
All they heard was, ah! Take that. And then fucking.
I guess it's a bad sign that no one really decided to jump in and do anything about it.
They left. They were like, we do not want to be party to this shit. Like when we got done, all the lights were out. They didn't even bother.
I like how even cornballs don't want to have to talk to the cops when something goes down.
Yeah,
they're like, we're gonna have to go.
We were never here.
Yeah.
Dude, you have all these stories about drug use, some of which were funny, some of which are actually scary experiences.
Yeah.
Is there ever a point where you're like, how the fuck did I make it this far?
It's more I'm like, how did I make it this far coming from poverty, less than coming from drugs? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with drugs, I kind of have a fatalistic point of view with life. I'm just like, fuck it. If I die, I die. I'm more worried about being uncomfortable. You know what I mean? I don't know. I got real sick off of ketamine, so I had to fucking cut it out. But like,
that was your shit, though, right?
Yeah, that was my jam. It turns out it was used for treating depression. I didn't even, I was self-medicating. Yeah.
Is that? I was just about to ask. I'd never heard that prior to you saying that.
Yeah, that's a very new thing. They do like a nasal spray, like a microdose of ketamine. Supposedly it helps with PTSD. Like they're giving it to soldiers right now.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. So I was doing that.
I mean, I just back in the day where you just poured it out and you took the air dryer and you fucking.
Yeah. I mean, I just got an appreciation for electronic music because of ketamine. But yeah, I guess it was helping my depression as well.
Yes, right up.
Yeah.
You don't even realize it. You're like next day, you're like, hey, shit's not that bad. I'm a little dizzy, but like, fuck it, man. Like shit's okay.
You had a beef with Floyd Mayweather. Can you get into that for a second?
Because he lied and said he read your book, and you're like, you can't read, motherfucker.
You read my book, Floyd.
Yeah.
It's a coloring book. So I was having a really fucking. This is when I was doing pills, so I was like popping Vikes and shit, and I was like kind of. I never do the show high, and so I was kind of like hungover, like semi dope sick type shit, because I wasn't doing it during the day, and I'd only do it at night. So I show up kind of dope sick, and they're talking about, this was way back in the day when Mayweather was making up all these excuses to not fight Manny Pacquiao. And he said he was on steroids. And it was just a throwaway shit. I was like, dude, man, I'm tired of this motherfucker talking about Manny's on steroids. You bigger than him anyway. Like, fucking beat him on steroids. You the best person ever, right? Fucking beat him on steroids. Let's see this fight. We go to music. They're like, Floyd Mayweather's on the phone. He wants to talk to you. I'm like, oh, man. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like,
imagine that shit.
Can my day get worse? This is when he's cool with 50 Cent. 50 Cent has a big part of the
Oh, he had a show on Shade also, right?
Yeah,
for a while.
he was with Shady. Yeah. So, like, this is basically like, hey, man, you talking about one of the boss's friends, and the boss's friend wants to punk on you on your own show. And I was like, ugh.
Yeah, you ready for that?
I literally, there was like Monster Energy drink. Shout out to Kyle. So I fucking drank a swig of Monster Energy drink, pulled up his Wikipedia of his last few fights, and was like, all right, let's go. And I just walked this fine line between me and Floyd Mayweather. Look it up, Rude Jude, Floyd Mayweather talk.
Is that like a?
And I picked him to win the fight. He ended up winning the fight, but like,
right.
I don't think anybody was really picking Pacquiao. Even
no, we just wanted to see.
It was nonsense that he was ducking it.
That I think that was the biggest thing.
Yeah,
you know, it was the hype of will they actually fight? You know?
Well, I think there was like, I mean, I think when they were trying to get that fight to happen, like whatever, was it 5 years before it happened? Right.
Yeah.
I feel like it could have. There's a shot. Pacquiao was like hot, but I don't think he ever was. Mayweather's never been knocked down.
Yeah.
Like he's barely been touched.
He also fights in rings that are for heavyweights, so he can just run all around.
I was just gonna say it's also the style of fighting, which it's not always like the best fights to watch.
He's perfect at art of war. Like it's the art of, like he sets up everything to be in his advantage, and whatever, man. Like so be it. But he, like, unless you love the sweet science, I just want to see violence, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck about, like, oh, he barely moved and fucking dodged the punch. I don't give a fuck about that. Like, knock a motherfucker's head off.
Yeah.
That's why people like Mike and Roy Jones.
Oh, sure. That's why everybody was fucking excited to see the Wilder Fury 2. Because they beat the shit out of each other. That's what people want to watch.
Of course.
Yeah, we want to see violence.
Yeah. It'd be kind of cool if Mayweather called in right now. He's like, oh, Bobby's like, oh, we got Floyd on the phone. He's
like,
fucking pissed again.
Fuck, dude. I just said, yeah.
I was gonna say though, that's it's kind of a cool thing to be on, on a show, and all of a sudden you're like, by the way, Floyd's calling in right now. Yeah. He's listening to your shit. That's
still pretty cool.
That's still pretty cool.
Yeah, I felt really great about it.
I'm sure in the moment you were a little annoyed because you had to like.
Well, then I got a talking to by all my bosses too. They're like, "Are you fucking crazy?" Like they buried it.
Well, yeah, and I would also be scared on my own show.
Like, if nuts though.
Hypothetically speaking, he calls in right now, I'd be scared. I'd be like, "Oh, this motherfucker's gonna light me up on my own show right now," and I'd have no idea what.
He would talk
about.
Circles around us. That's for sure.
No way. No fucking way. He talks circles around other boxers, people that get beat in the head. You guys fucking talk for a living, like. He's stepping into your ring. If Floyd Mayweather got the better of me on my show, I would go kill myself.
So how did it go when
I murdered him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn,
that's his L.
That fucking clip.
Yeah, that's his L he took. Go look it up. I'm glad you don't. But I don't want to have.
But you'd think that would be good promotion for your show. You know what I mean? Like, why would your bosses be mad? Floyd Mayweather listens to this show. That's it.
Either that or someone was listening who knows him and was like, yo, you need to fucking call in real quick and defend yourself.
You just always spin it as he's clearly on my dick. He listens to the show every day.
Honestly, that's exactly how I would take it, you know?
It was one of those deals, but it was like if 50 wanted me gone, I was gone.
Oh, so if you had kept poking.
They were like, yo, what the fuck have you done? That's 50's buddy. That was when they were like throwing money together on hotel beds and shit. Like, yo, dude, what have you done? That's 50's homeboy. He's got part of this station. If he wants you gone, you're fucking gone. So shut the fuck up. And I talked to presidents. I talked to I'm just like, okay, all right. Yep. Sweet. Like, biggest moment, got buried.
Is that actually like...
That's probably the livest one.
I was just going to ask, is that one of the times that, they actually had to talk to you about content on your show?
Yeah, there's a few times. Sometimes there's a few times.
Because I know you like to speak your mind, and I think that's why people fucking listen and they love the show so much. But, obviously they care about, the content that's coming out to an extent. So
Yeah, like, look, man, and there's certain things, like, I try to avoid politics, like, because I want everybody, I feel like everybody has, like, a political slant now. Like, you can't even watch fucking ESPN without some shit. So it's just like, I want this to be the one bastion where you can go, and I'll talk about social issues that I find, like, there's two genders, you know, or there's two sexes, y'all, like,
right.
For real, like, that's cool. Like, and I'll like, if you chop your dick off or get some titties, I'll call you a chick, whatever you want me to call you. You can piss wherever you want, but like, I ain't gonna debate science with you.
Right.
Like, so like, there's certain shit like that.
And they tell you to avoid that? I feel like that's
that shit I won't avoid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's bullshit when like fucking like, oh, I'm gonna throw on this wig and fucking beat the shit out of you in a ring or fucking race a woman. Like,
the best one is there's a Swedish trans, like, Olympic handball.
No,
it looks like John Cena. You pull up. It's a trans Olympic handball player. It looks like John Cena beating up women, like in the fucking
and this
action.
This is like legal, and this is good.
Champion.
Okay.
And remember back in like the 80s when everybody was like, y'all mind when the Germans kept whooping everyone's ass and like, man, it's dudes in the swimming pool, man. Like, oh, this is fucked up. Yeah. Now we've went full circle where it's literally dudes and it's gonna be okay.
Oh man,
bro,
it's like he's dropping a leg drop on a girl.
Look at that jaw.
Yeah,
like. That's, how could you even like, this is when you know like some of these motherfuckers are crazy. It's like, how could you like, bro, you know that you are fucking like deep down, you know that you got dude muscles.
Yeah.
You know that. Like, even if you identify
look at this wind up right here.
Yeah. And handball's like, it's not like what the Mexicans play out here. This is like, it's like running around with like a mini fucking soccer ball just throwing shit.
God damn.
Look how tiny the chick in the background looks. The other girl.
Yeah, it's twice the size at least.
There's one action shot of like 4 girls trying to tackle this guy.
I wouldn't even, if I was a woman, I'd be like, fuck you, I'm not playing against this shit. This is like, I wouldn't, but then if they speak out against it, then they're fucking transphobes.
Yeah. Look at this.
Like,
I think it's even better.
Yo, this is great.
That they're in hijabs?
Yes.
Yo, and like, real talk, he's playing against Muslim chicks, and Muslim chicks aren't allowed to touch other men, too. So, like, this is like
a double whammy.
Yeah,
right
this
here.
is like haram on different levels and shit.
They got double stoned from losing and touching a man?
Yeah, straight up. Like, you touched a man, and you fucking lost.
Holy shit, man.
None of those girls have hands anymore. They can't play handball anymore. Just lopped them off.
Hell no.
Your White People Wednesday. It's probably one of the things I look forward to on your account the most.
Thanks, man.
Where the fuck do you get all of this shit?
Everybody sends it to me. Like, I started White People Wednesday fucking years ago. Shit, damn near a decade ago. And it's just morphed into this thing. And people just send me shit. And the worst part, too, is like, I'll get some shit on Thursday and have to sit on that bitch.
Yeah.
And like, they'll be like, oh, that's old. I'm like, bitch, I had it, but I had to wait 6 days to drop this shit. You know how like people are
it's the
assholes.
exact same with me, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, fuck you, man. Like, fucking meme yelper ass motherfucker. You're gonna like just take it.
Yelping.
Yeah, man. Like, oh, I've seen that before. Congratulations, you won the internet, fucking asshole. Like, well, I'm posting it now, so here you go.
You ever get nervous though that like IG's gonna come and shut your shit down?
The reason why my shit's called One More Jude, because I kept getting shut down and I was running out of names, and I was like, all right, fuck it, it's One More Jude.
So what do you just have to start over as soon as
I don't even want to talk about this shit, dog. I got 410,000 followers, and I don't want to fucking. I don't want to talk about that shit. Mm-hmm. Like, that's for real. Like,
because I know just from my side, like, they're cracking down on this shit, and
what are they
scares
cracking down
the shit out of me, bro. They don't. It's not even just content that they care about anymore. It's captions. Like, they have artificial intelligence that's reading your captions, and they're taking posts down if they think that your caption is bullying the person in the picture. So they can remove a post based on your caption, not the actual picture or video.
Oh, they're going to take down all my posts.
Dude. Well, you got to be to a size where they fucking really care.
Well, that's never going to happen. So. I just can't. You guys are super consistent. It's the drive, that waiting till Wednesday. I never would do that. I'd be like, here's some shit early, whatever. Like, I could never do it.
Sometimes I'll just go early, like, hey, fuck it, this can't wait. But other times I'll be like, all right, man, I'm gonna put this on.
It's fucking awesome. I mean, but it's also, that's exactly the type shit that triggers certain people, because they're like, white people Wednesday, why don't you have like a Black Friday? Like, it's like. It's so fucking.
Some people do have
wild.
Black Friday. You could look for it, but I'm not touching that shit. Like,
well, yeah, exactly.
Like maybe 15 years ago I could have, but like not in this day and age. I'm not touching that shit.
I would love to be able to go back 15 years and just stay in that period when no one gave a shit. It was just everyone was like,
people gave a shit 15 years ago. I don't know what you guys are talking about. It's
no way, dude.
It's not as bad as it is now.
They gave a shit, but no one fucking cared that they gave a shit.
I guess nobody was really getting fucking taken down. You saw the guy who got taken down who raised $1 million for a kids charity. Not a famous person. Said Venmo me at a football game. Need money for Busch Light. Raised $1 million for a kids charity. Lost the sponsorship the next day because 3 racist tweets from when he was 16.
See, that's
and then that person, and
I couldn't even find the
that
tweets.
Told on him got fucking fired too because they found some shit on him. It's just like, yo, guys, like, what the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah,
What's crazy is I couldn't find the tweets. You know what I mean? They just
said
they're
like
they
gone.
Yeah, they're like gone. They're scrubbed.
Wow.
And it was just like and all the articles reporting on it were saying that he had racist tweets. And it's like you can't even see a screenshot of them.
God damn.
Yeah.
All right, so listen, Jude's on a strict time here, so I want to just get to this clip of the week real quick, and then we'll kind of give you can give some shout outs, some shameless plugging.
Awesome.
That's cool with you.
Appreciate you.
Let's jump right into this clip, guys.
Next up, Subway Creatures, clip of the week.
So Jude, each week, this is kind of like a bonus to have people tune into the podcast. We give them something that's not actually on the account. This one actually comes to us from the bus, not the subway this week. Guys, let's just play the clip here. Take a look at the guy's eye. If you could zoom in on that eye. This dude, hopefully they could zoom on this. His eyes popped out of his fucking head. Jesus. I don't know how. I think some people can actually do this.
Yeah.
I've seen this before, but is there any way to zoom on that? Yeah, they're going to do it in 1 second. But he's literally sitting there, and his eyes popped out of his socket, just chilling on the bus.
That's a good way to get people not to sit next to you.
That's a valid point right there.
Yo, I don't want no company. Let me just pop my fucking eye out.
That's pretty fucking. Shit. You see that?
Son. Oh, man. Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
That's fucking. I mean, I'd be worried about that thing just coming all the way out, dropping out. Because it's your eye, so you don't really necessarily know, right?
You think he's on the way to the hospital? He's got to be on the way to the hospital, right?
No, I think he can just do that
I
shit.
agree. I think he's just fucking playing with his shit.
And this ain't his first rodeo.
Maybe, yeah. Well, maybe he doesn't even know that shit came out. How the fuck do you actually know when your eye comes out?
It's like when your zipper's down or some shit. You're like, oh, fuck, my eye's out. God damn it. There I go again.
Like he does it so much now, it just kind of happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be one of those situations, right?
Yeah.
I'm just glad that that's not like a regular thing. Because if I saw that I've seen a lot of shit on my account. That's the type of thing I'll be fucking.
Like if you were in person looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would freak me the fuck out.
There's something about the eye that coming out. I can't do that shit. Jude, why don't you start us off with some shameless plugging real quick, where we can find you, what you got coming up.
All right, peep game. Go to YouTube. You can listen to the book Hyena with me reading that shit. Hyena audio book, Jude. Type that shit in. See if you dig the type of shit I'm talking about. And one more, Jude is my Instagram. You have to type in the whole fucking thing because I'm shadow banned right now for some fucking reason. Like, that's why you're like, what if it got erased? I'm like, we don't want to talk about that right now. I'm already shadow banned, and I just got flagged again.
Takashi's just reporting all your posts.
Yeah.
You're bullying Takashi.
It was I got a bullying post for baby's first fucking OD, and like she's in the. They were in the fucking and I didn't even fucking shit on them. I was just like, all right, cool, whatever. Narcan. That's all I wrote. Some shit like that. Narcan.
That's just good advice. That's not bullying.
Yeah.
And then onemorejude.com, and I'm sure your people will love this. I'm sure you have a lot of wine collectors out there.
Oh yeah, that sounds like my audience.
The perfect 1-2 combination. I got Calibri wine, and it's basically this fancy ass wine. They're so fancy that they won't allow me to connect myself with them or the vineyard, and I'm doing that for Christmas. You can go to onemorejude.com with there's only 1,800 bottles, and that's it.
Yeah, you had my audience at Narcan. You lost them with wine.
I know.
There's Narcan in the wine, guys.
Yeah, great vintage, y'all. The vintage is on fleek, as they say.
Chris, what do you got for us?
Obviously, High Society Radio every Thursday right before Subway Creatures on Gas Digital. Tuesdays on iTunes. New episodes every week. At Chris from BKLYN on Twitter and High Society Radio on Instagram.
And for me, you guys can check us out, the Instagram page, Subway Creatures, and also Subway Creatures Pod for podcast highlights, content that will not go on the main page. Get a 14-day free trial on GasDigitalNetwork.com using promo code Subway. You'll get all the not safe for work content, as well as HD and commercial free. So that again, that's GasDigitalNetwork.com using promo code Subway. Jude, thank you so much for coming by, brother. I really appreciate this.
I appreciate
Next time you're in the city, definitely let us know. We'll definitely have you back on. Chris, thank you so much for filling in today.
I'm sorry I was late. I really
You're fucking
do not like to be late for shit like this.
We'll see you again, obviously, as always.
What are you gonna do?
All right, guys, we'll see you next week.